George Cukor was the director of the 1950 film Born Yesterday. The comedy, directed by George Cukor, which was adapted from Garson Kanan's play from 1946 and later remade as Born Yesterday, 1993, starring Melanie Griffith, John Goodman, and Don Johnson, is widely considered to be among the best comedies ever made. During the opening sequence, all three of the major characters were introduced during an elaborate arrival scene at Washington, D.C.'s Hotel Statler. The crooked, disreputable and uncouth, ignorant, and millionaire junkyard, scrap iron, tycoon Harry Brock, Broderick Crawford, his unrefined, expensively dressed, with multiple fur coats, dumb blonde ex-chorus girl mistress/fiancée from Brooklyn named Emma Billie Dawn, William Holden. The entire wing of 3 luxurious suites was reserved for Brock and his mistress on the upper floor of the hotel, and they were shown to it. Brock was seriously contemplating setting up an educational tutor to refine Billie's brusque social graces. He was doing this in consultation with his Washington lawyer Jim Devery, Howard St. John, and he hoped that this would prevent him from being embarrassed by Billie's behavior in front of congressmen and other influential people. While Brock was working bribes and trying to influence politicians, he paid Paul Verrall $200 per week to be Billie's tutor so that he could improve Billie, make her more socially respectable, make her happier. Brock told Verall to show her the ropes, sort of, and kind of explain things to her. Paul was especially enthusiastic about the prospect of uncovering Brock's shady dealings in the business world while he was collaborating with Billie. Billie received civic education from Paul in the form of field trips and tours that took place all throughout Washington, District of Columbia's monuments and public buildings. During the course of the narrative, it was revealed that Brock had been unethically using the unwitting Billie as an accomplice for his many business maneuvers and illegalities by having his empire of junkyards registered in her name, so that he wouldn't be held responsible for his actions if he was ever prosecuted. After Paul, a bachelor, gave Billie a passionate kiss in an elevator, the two started developing feelings for one another romantically. Over the course of time, Billie began to cultivate a social consciousness and a genuine understanding of democracy. She also began to develop an awareness of. She issued an ultimatum to him, saying, "When you steal from the government, you steal from yourself, you dumb ox." She vowed that she would no longer sign any of his business documents as part of his plan to establish a scrap iron monopoly and threatened to leave him as a result of her decision. She would gradually return his 126 separate properties to him, all of which she legally owned. He had signed them over to her in order to conceal them from the government, but she would do so only one at a time. "I assume that you have forgotten about me in all of this, especially considering that I am a partner. So, this is how things are going to go down. I don't want them. I don't want anything that is yours or that has anything to do with you, so I'm going to sign all of your possessions over to someone else, but not all at once. Only one at a time, please. One time every year. You alone are responsible for your behavior, because if you don't, I might just give up on everything. Because of everything you've done, even before I got to know you, I'm willing to bet that you could spend about 900 years behind bars. You'd be a senior citizen by the time you got out of there." In the meantime, the couple who had been dating, Paul and Billie, got married. The last lines of the movie were directed toward a police officer on a motorcycle who asked for their license but was instead given their recent marriage license. He let out a chuckle, "Please provide a license." "No, this license won't do," but then quickly forgave their transgression by saying, "Okay, just forget about it. My wedding present. But don't push yourself too hard or you'll never make it." Billie discussed the recent wedding she had with Paul as follows, "Oh, don't worry about it, we'll get through this. There is no question that this was predetermined." The officer responded, "Pre what?" "Billie, look it up."